Hey, welcome to another adventure in old code. I thought today we might start exploring the quick basic folder that contains a conglomeration of both my programs and my brother's programs. So for each one of these, I'm not sure who wrote it, but maybe we can figure it out. I'm not sure if it works. Maybe we can figure it out. I'm not even sure it's worth running, but maybe we can figure that out in hindsight. So let's have a look. I'm going to look through them in chronological order, as always. And a lot of these are not programs that we wrote at the beginning. You could see these modified dates are 1988. These are stock programs bundled with the QBasic zip file. I'm not, various demo files and whatnot. So let's go down here, and it looks like, see, October 11, 1995 is way before that. I mean, I was in grade 7. I didn't know how to program computers. I didn't know anything about QBasic, so this is definitely not the correct modified date. Whatever the case, let's have a look at Spymove. There are so many files in this directory. Spymove. Definitely one of my brother's creations. So, Jeffrey, this is a shout out to you. Here's one of yours. And the reason I know is because we've got variable names. Dern beep. Dern beep. That was, I'm not sure what to say about that. Let's run it. It appears like that made some sound. Interesting. I'm curious. Oh, and I'm not even plugged in. Oh, I'm plugged into the computer, but not my video feed. Oh, this might be some interesting editing. We didn't get to hear that sound though, so I'm going to do that. Hopefully it still works. Okay, so let's try again. So we get a little guy who moved. And I got shot, I guess. I'm not sure what's supposed to happen. Maybe if I move some... I don't know. Is this just a demo sequence, or what's going on? Is there some interactivity? Okay, well, let's have a look. Two subroutines, spy and blood. Blood. 1 second. Okay, so blood. Spelt wrong. That's okay. Oh my goodness. So then we have two arrays. This is another way to do an array. I'm pretty sure we could just do this, but 1 to 200 is another way of declaring it. I suggest you can do 5 to 200, and that's a good question. Let's try it out. Can I dim x 5 to 200 as integer, set x1 equal to something, and then print x1? Subscript out of range. Look at that. So yeah, Indeed, you can create your own internal range that doesn't start at 1. I don't know any other programming language that actually lets you do that. Spy. Where are we here? Spymove. Okay. So yes, so that's an array, good and blood. Spelled a different way. I guess I would just call it blood, blood dot, blood 2. My brother, on the other hand, decides to go with alternate spellings. I'm pretty sure he knew how to spell blood. Okay. And then we have spy. We do spy. Okay, so it kind of seems like... Okay, here we go. Here's the draw command. We get to do the draw command. Awesome. So the draw command is a new graphics command, and what it does is it kind of lets you freeform draw. And he's created for himself, you see these lines here are, there's a single quotation there, so these are not executed, they're just comments. And he's created for himself a legend, and this is how the draw command works. You give it a string, and then you give it a series of directions, and you have 8 directions. So up, down, left, and right are fairly self-explanatory. And then, so you give it a direction and a number of pixels, and it just draws a line in that direction for that many pixels. So here we go, we're drawing R3, and then F1. And so this is a diagonal, diagonally down to the right, 1 pixel, then down 3, and then southwest 2, and then left 2, and then northwest 2, and then up 2, and then northeast 2. So that draws a shape, and then we fill it up with something. So, yeah, curious. I'm not sure what that is. And then there's a get command. So, yeah, okay. Let's put a break here. We'll just do a sleep command. Sleep without any number after it, just waits for a key press. So let's just do that. Okay, so this draws the spy in all of his gloriousness. Every little bit. I'm beginning to think this is just an animated sequence. So let's get rid of some of these things here. Let's see if we can... These names, okay. We're just going to end the program here so we can have a look at spy. Okay. So we are going to comment out everything and see how this gets drawn. Not going to do this with everything, but this is our first time seeing the draw command. It's a pretty powerful command. So this first set draws his head. Okay. And the next one, look at this complicated drawing. So what the draw does is why there's these P sets, they are the start of what you're drawing. So you start at 14.2, the coordinate 14.2, and then relative to that coordinate, you draw this. And then you fill it in. And then we're going to set another coordinate, and relative to 13.8, we're going to do all this fancy stuff, which draws his body. All right. So that draws the complicated body. Perfect. Then we're going to set another pixel reference and do a few more draws. drawing his arm. Perfect. And we got a few things left here. Okay, now that drew his right arm. Anyway, so this continues, and I'm not even plugged in. I need a checklist every time I stop my video. Okay. And this keeps going. Okay. Perfect. And then it draws the little gun. Wow. And I think that those little knobs are the sights on the gun are all these 1 values. Up 1, down 1, right 1, down 1. Yeah. Okay. That's what's going on there. So that draws the guy. And then we have this beautiful command called the get command. Now this is pivotal, a pivotal idea that some of the more advanced programs that in the videos that I did with my brother, like he used this in his programs, and I did too. We just haven't got to those programs yet, but this is a way of drawing something to the screen and then taking a snapshot of it so you can use it as a stamp to stamp everywhere. Otherwise, you know, it takes a computer a long time to draw all this, and it's pretty intricate drawing. So you can either, you know, have an image file that's, you know, on a file in the directory and load it up, which was pretty advanced, and of course we had no way of doing that at this point in time. Or you could draw it and then get it. So that was, this is the get command. I think it's got the keyword had different meanings in different contexts. So it was a way of loading things from file, but this is the get graphics command. So you give it 2 coordinates, and just like the line command, it defines a box area, and then you give it the name of an array that you've declared for this stamp. So we've drawn this guy. We're going to go from 5, 0 to 35, 30, and actually let us, for good measure, let's draw the box. We'll draw it yellow, and it will just be an empty box, and then we'll sleep. Okay. So this rectangular box is what we're going to take all those pixels and shove it into this variable. So each pixel becomes a value, and so you need an array for that. Many different values. So that's good. Good has been declared over here in the main program, main subroutine, main routine, to be a variable. So it's a bucket of 200 values, and you'll notice that here we're not actually saying, you know, good 1 or good 2 or good 3. We need the entire array to store the pixel values in this box. And so you needed your array to be, you know, big enough. I mean, you can't just have an array of like 5, size 5, because that's not going to be enough. So he's got 200. This is going to be a 30 by 30 box, which is 900 pixels. And so it must do something fancy with black pixels. Like it might not require the storing of black pixels, only the non-black pixels. Anyway, regardless, that box can be stored in the array good. So that's what he does. He draws the guy, and then he captures it in this variable good. Then we go back to the main program. And this is stuff I added. Now he's playing some music. Excellent. for darn beep equals darn beep. Yeah, so I mentioned this before. Dir was like, how dare you, how dare you. It quickly became a catch-all swear word for us. So, you know, you're a darn fool. And then beep is just, beeps happen when you swear. So darn beep, yeah, it's his way of just being silly and using our own cuss words to as his variable names. This is simply an empty for loop just to give it some pause. So let's increase it by 10 and see what we get. Excellent. You can see that box is there. I forgot to erase that box. Let's erase that box. Okay. So we wait a bit, and then for walk equals 0 to 280, step 5. Perfect. He used a variable name called walk for the movement of the spy. Good job. That makes sense. And we're not going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to step 15 every time. So 0, 15, 30, 45. Every time we take a step, what we do is we clear the screen, and then we put. Now put is the other pairing to the get command. You get something and then you can put it. And so you put at this x coordinate, walk 240. So first 0, 240, then 15, 240, then 30, 240. What are you putting? You're putting the contents of the variable good, which contains our guy. And then you got this p set. And we didn't really know what all this was. But if we go to the put command, we want the put graphics command. It's an action verb. So you have different ways of putting. So pset draws the image as stored, wiping out any existing image. It just overlays it, and it doesn't matter. This is the quickest thing for the computer to do, and the easiest thing for a programmer to do. You just say pset. And there's all sorts of different options, like superimposing and merging and all sorts of things, which we did use in different varieties in other programs. But this program uses the simple pset verb, which just draws it. It doesn't care about what's underneath. So that puts the guy. And then we draw some circles around him at the x coordinate. Plus 12. Okay. Y coordinate 255. Oh yeah, this is the radius. So 30, color 3, which is that cyan, and then a circle of 50 and 90 and 170. Okay, awesome. Oh, here's another break. Let's increase that. Now let's have a look at it. This is what it should be. Boom. Okay. So we've got a few things left here. After we walk, then we're going to do some drawing. Oh, excellent. So this draws the little flash from the gun that you see. Right 3, left 3, down 1, F2, R2, whatever. All that stuff. And we play this bizarre thing. ML. See, I don't even know what that stands for in the play command. ML. A and C. A and C are musical notes, but I'm not sure what M and L mean. Let's have a look. Oh, ML. Oh, it's a one command. Each note plays full length. Oh, okay. So rather than saying A, A1, C1, you rather than specifying the length after each note, you can just say everything plays full length. Okay, but what's the plus 20? I'm not sure what the plus 20 is. Oh, plus is a sharp. Oh, man. And then 20. I don't know. I don't know what that plus 20 is. So here we're playing each note full length, moving up a few octaves, doing an A sharp, but then we have a 20. Don't know. I'm not sure. I can't see the answer in here. Maybe you can. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about it too much. That makes the sound somehow. I'm not sure what the 20 signifies. And then we do some more weighting. And then we're going to draw right 3, left 3, some more drawing. Oh, I see. So this one up here draws the flash of the gun in color 9. And then this draws the same flash but in color 0, which erases it. And then we wait, and then down. Oh, yeah, the blood coming down. For 0 equals 5 to 100, 0 to 500, step 4. This is the lines happening every 4 pixels. Draw the line, horizontal line, color red, wait for another little bit, everything. And so we have excellent. All right, and that's Spymove. Of course, there is a subroutine here called blood, which we never called. Screen 12 for blood equals 0 to 620, step 40, circle 20. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to let us, instead of this, because this is clearly blood, but instead of doing that, let's call the blood subroutine and see what that looks like. Interesting. I would imagine his original intention was to have those fall down from the top in streaks of blood. Decided that was too complicated or hard, or he was too lazy or something, and then just went with the horizontal lines. That's what I'm going to assume. Jeff, if you're watching, you can tell me in the comments what exactly was going on in your brain. All right, well, that's Spymove. Thank you so much for joining me in this adventure in old code. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. All right, I was going to publish this video, and then I realized, you know what? There's something that I don't understand, and I cannot publish a video having a line of code that I couldn't quite make sense of. So we're going to take a look, for better or for worse, at this play command, because I want to figure it out. I couldn't make sense of those numbers. So how do you copy? Shift insert. There we go. So here we go. Make sure I'm all the way up. That's what we got. We have a little blip. So I think what I'm going to do is take away the numbers 20 and 50. And that's the reason. Perfect. That makes sense to me now. Okay, the play command. So this moves down 1, 2, 3, 4 octaves, and this moves back up 4 octaves to reset where you're playing. This ML made everything full length, but I think we don't need it. Without it, I think things play, let me just see, 1. Those are whole notes. This is a half note. Okay, this is a quarter note, which I think is the default if you don't have anything. Okay, so the 4 after it means it's a quarter note, which I knew. And I knew you could do an 8th, but so here if we make it an 8th, but he's done, what was it, a 20 and a 50? And I didn't recognize them because you don't actually have 20th or 50th notes in music theory because no human could play that. But there you go. 2 super fast notes. Why he chose A sharp and C sharp instead of A and C is beyond me, but whatever. So, the upshot to all this, the ML wasn't necessary, I don't think. Oh. It kind of does seem like with the ML, there's a slight break there. But also different runs. It's so quick. These notes are so short that different runs seem to produce different effects. And yeah, I think it's completely random. So this is, anyway, enough time spent on this command, but we figured it out. That's a 20th note followed by a 50th note, and this ML is pointless. There we go. Thank you for being patient with me. Now that we got this figured out, we can move ahead, which we certainly will. Thank you for joining me in this adventure in old code. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.